To learn a ton from you and watch all the moves that you're making in that space. And I think it's incredible. But one of the things that I really wanted you to come on and educate me on, and not only myself, but our audience as well, is you've gotten really deep into the NFT space. Tell us more about that. Explain NFTs for our audience that don't know what an NFT is. And then also just tell me more about you in that space and what it is that you see going forward and why you're so interested into the space and how long have you been at it?
So, I mean, to try to break it down, as quickly as possible, because it's a rabbit hole and I'm in Discords. I was on Discord today for like 45 minutes. People are like, yo, you really in here? I'm like, yeah, I'm studying. So NFT is, non-fungible token. So essentially think of as a digital collectible, like we collect so many things, I tell people all the time, like Warren Buffett is one of the wealthiest people on earth because he started collecting stamps and coins at like age 4 or 5. Like he had a passion for collecting coins, which is currency. So just like we enjoy immersing ourselves in the game of basketball and studying basketball, he studied money. And then he had an uncle who traded on the stockroom floor, and then his pops was in politics and, with policy and how money moves, taxes, all those things. Like that was his world. So it was no surprise that he just accumulated a lot of wealth. So we accumulate different things in different worlds. How did eBay start? eBay started with collecting Beanie Babies. You know what I mean? And then Amazon started with people who were just lovers of books.
Yep.
They were able to scale those platforms out into, some of the e-commerce we talk about today is, everybody's going into the e-commerce space and from different ways. So NFTs is similar in terms of, you collecting things digitally. So it started out with NBA Top Shot. I got a call from, I forgot who it was. It's an interesting company. It's this great founder who has a great track record of starting up companies in this manner. And obviously, like JaVale McGee, got to give him a lot of credit. People know him as JaVale McGee, but as you like this dude is one of the high IQ guys on the planet, not just in the NBA, but this dude is smart. So he was talking about
super smart.
Bitcoin was like 9,000. And he was like, yo, it's going to get to 15, get some Bitcoin. And I'm like, I ain't really ready yet. The things just got to 60, 65, this past summer, we all know what's happening. But, when you talk about cryptocurrencies and a blockchain and how that whole space works with the ledger, which is your receipts, everything works more efficiently. Everything's more accountable. They figured out that they would start in the financial sector in terms of introducing the blockchain because they knew if they can get the finance side right, everything else will follow behind it. It's just like eBay started with Beanie Babies and everything came behind it. So that's just this entry to market. And NBA Top Shot obviously was big for not just NBA, but for the NFT space because people were very excited to start, collecting moments. This is like a trading card. So people was like, well, I can just go screenshot an image on my phone. What's the difference? And I'm like, yeah, you can print a picture off your printer. That don't mean you own the actual trading card, and then it shows who owns it on the ledger. So there's actually a receipt say I own this. So there's many different things you can do with owning a digital asset. One thing that artists, they make more money in the NFT space than painting a picture. Picasso paints a picture, sells it one time, and most artists don't make money while they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
They sell that picture one time, and that's the only time they make money off of it. Well, actually, NFTs, there's a 6% fee every time it's being moved or sold. So the artist gets paid even though they don't own that picture throughout its course of its life. And then, obviously you got trust, which goes into DAOs, which is a whole nother rabbit hole on the ledger and the blockchain space. That's key too. You got a few like Spencer Dinwiddie is just amazing. When he speaks on it, he's heavily into he wanted to get paid in, he wanted his whole NBA contract in crypto, which you technically you can't do, but there's a way to do it. I'm working on something right now where I could be compensated through Bitcoin. So you see how far I digress because it's so immersive, but the NFT space right now is a lot of digital images. It's a lot of, it's almost like a secret society. You look at Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. It's like, why would I buy a picture of a gorilla for $500,000? And it's almost like its own secret society where you get access to a certain club in Miami, LA, New York. Like you got to have your phone is your wallet, and it shows you own it, and it shows up on Ledger. Like, I get access to this party, or I get access to all the merch first. It's like a pair of Jordans. They make 10,000 pairs of Jordans, and it's 350 million people in America, and then 50 million sneakerheads. It's only 10,000 shoes, so people buy them up and then they resell them because it's just a hot commodity to have. It's the same thing. It's just a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? It's going to wear out. But what you gonna do? Just leave them there? You can't wear them. They lose their value. Same thing with people like collecting digital photos that other people don't have. It kind of shows your social economic status within the economy or within our worlds we live in. And that's what it's eventually going to go to, where you're talking about the metaverse, where you're talking about Web 3.0, where we're all going to exist in this virtual world, and we're going to express ourselves through our avatar. So your avatar is going to be like, the person that people see. We're going to slowly but surely start away from each other and then just coming back in small groups. But we're all going to, like, Microsoft is big on the workspace metaverse where you can work from home, but you put the headset on, but you see your coworkers working in real time and your surroundings look a little different. It's not home because, there's that layer that thinks you're at work. And then Facebook, which is called Meta now, they just put up, they spent like 10 billion this year already in the space, which tells you everything you need to know. When these large companies start pumping out billions of dollars into a space, it's like the innovator's dilemma, but it's not, because they know what's coming and they've disrupted so many different things. They know something's going to come after them. So they got to be ready before it hits them. And, Square just changed its name. Jack Dorsey, he was CEO of Twitter and Square. He just changed the name of Square, which is one of the largest fintech companies in the world, to Block, which is, blockchain. So it's just moving so crazy, and we're just trying to stay ahead of it. And it's exciting, this is the last thing I'll say. It started with Web 0.0, which was, platforms creating and publishing and monetizing and owning everything. And then Web 2.0, which is where we're in right now, you see creators creating everything, but we create content, and where does it go? It goes to Facebook, it goes to Instagram, it goes to TikTok, and we don't participate in that value add. The same way, the Warriors are worth 450 million when Steph's there, and then when you get there, when Clay's there, now they're worth 5 billion. But if there's a sale, do we participate in the accumulation of value in that sale? Zero, right? So there's no ownership. So Web 3.0 is about creators creating and creators having, they actually own, everything that exists that they're creating, which is we've never seen before. So we're in exciting times, and it's just for us to try to continue to spread the knowledge, because obviously African Americans, we always the last one to get access to anything, and then we're always, the system is set up for us to, be at the bottom of the totem pole, because you have to have cheap labor, and we've always been the ones to have cheap labor. So part of me being excited is to take all this information, put it together, package it the right way, and give it back to our community so we can own it and we can learn it and we can start having leadership. We can be the coach, the GM, the owner, and then when you're in those positions of power, I guess you can call it, but you start hiring and identifying who's good that because you hire who you know and you hire what you're comfortable with. And that's why we've never been in a position to be in those job titles that can bring more people that look like, the manager.
So I know nothing. I don't own any NFTs. Or where do I start?
Okay, it's like the easiest way you need to do, it's really 3 things. Get a Coinbase account. What's the word I'm looking for? I have to let everyone know that I am an investor in Coinbase, right? So, but you get a Coinbase account. There's other places. I think FTX, which just did it was still with Steph, but Coinbase account. Then you get a MetaMask account. So Coinbase is where you buy your crypto, which all NFTs, not all, majority run off Ethereum, right? And then there's Solana based, there's Tezos based, but for the most part, it's Ethereum. So you go to Coinbase, and then you link your bank account, and then you put however much money you want to get Ethereum. Then you get a MetaMask, which is a wallet. So it's like a digital wallet that basically you can buy NFTs. So you need the MetaMask, or there's other digital wallets as well, but I use MetaMask, not an investor in MetaMask. But once you have MetaMask, you go on OpenSea. Coinbase has an NFT platform, and it's a test pilot right now. But for the most part, OpenSea is where people go, where all the NFTs are listed. And you use MetaMask to buy from OpenSea. And you also need Discord as well. Discord is when you see a project that you like, you go to Discord, you go to that project chat room and you talk to the community, and you can kind of get a good feel if a project's going to do well or not, because you have authentic people having conversations about, all right, what makes this NFT valuable? Is it a money grab? They just trying to sell something real quick and get out? It's a bunch of those. Or is there a roadmap? Is there a utility here saying, when I have this digital asset, what comes with it? You know, do I get access to this? Do I get access to that? Am I able to meet this person? Am I able to meet that person? And then you see a lot of celebrities that are in and out. So you just got to be careful. So you still got to do your homework. It's just like investing in, you know, a company that may not be as well known, and you just got to track it and see what they're doing every quarter. So you just those 4 things help you: Coinbase, MetaMask, OpenSea, and Discord.
It's interesting. I appreciate you sharing that knowledge because it's, like you said, I think it's very important. You know, when you speak on JaVale McGee and Bitcoin, I appreciate you saying that about JaVale, because he is probably one of the most misunderstood people in the NBA.
Sure.
Because of the JaVale McGee, you know, and all of those things. People think JaVale McGee is dumb.
Right.
And like you said, he is probably one of the top 5 smartest guys in the NBA. And top 5 may be selling them short. You know, I mean, JaVale McGee is like one of those people that he's so smart, sometimes it can fly by you, or it's hard to understand him because he's so smart. And so I have an appreciation for that. But speaking of Bitcoin, I remember Shamath told me years ago, man, Bitcoin probably had to be worth $300-400 a Bitcoin. He said, take 1% of your net worth. This had to be 7 8 years ago. Take 1% of your net worth and put it into Bitcoin.
Yep.
I'm like, Bitcoin, what is that? Right? And he starts breaking down to me what Bitcoin is. And at the time, I didn't really have any money.
Right.
So I couldn't even process what putting 1% of the little money that I did have into anything, right? Like, no, I don't have any money to put into that. I should have put it in there, but I didn't. But nonetheless, you know, it is what it is, and you live and you learn. And that's kind of where I am in the space, is just continuing to learn, you know, trying to get more active in the space, but also I want to thoroughly understand it before I just get super active into it, you know. And so that's what I've been trying to do. But no, go ahead.
The funny thing is, the best thing that happened to me is my account got hacked. I got robbed. Like, it's funny that it happened like that. But so if you click, like, warning for everybody, don't click on anything in Discord. Like, don't click anything, like, in terms of like links, right? So I'm just trying to learn. You know how we are. Like, we know how to work hard. We watch hours and hours of film. So it's nothing to us to study. Like, it's easy for us to pick up on stuff. That's why people say, like, you know, like athletes, we can transition to different places because, like, we just learn how to work hard and, you know, obtain information. So I'm just learning, clicking on stuff, and I clicked on the wrong thing. Somebody, you know, got access to my account, and then I accidentally screenshot my passwords to my wallet, and then they go into my cloud, got that too, boom, take my stuff, right? But that right there, I ended up losing like $25,000, but I talked to somebody in the community showed up for me and showed me how to get everything back. I would get everything back to square, whatever. I still lost, but he was like, think about it as you just went to school and you just got your degree in NFTs. And I was like, wow. Because now I'm able to teach other people, do this, do that, move like this, move like that. All right, watch out for this, watch out for that. Even with like some of the projects that aren't that good, I got some projects that's like, I wouldn't have did that if I could have do it again. But now I just give it the same information to other people. So I say the best thing to do is just buy one thing, just like watch it. That experience alone will teach you so much than, you know, one person can tell you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. And you know, I think for me, when you first came out here and you came to the Golden State Warriors, I remember like everything that you was talking about. Like, I love the tech space. I want to do this in the space, and to see where you've actually grown in that space is like incredible. Like, you're well respected in that space. You're well known in that space, and you've had some investments that's performed, several unicorns that's performed really well.